Well, bonjour, bonjour. Welcome to another episode of Boozin with Jude. Jude, are you speaking French? Oh, I can't speak French. I can barely speak English. But I'm giving a little tip of the chateau, so it says, so we say, to the French because today we're making a drink called the French 75. Jude, is that a French drink? Who knows? Who cares? It's an outstanding drink. I'll tell you, there's also, you know what, first of all, even if you look up the recipe for this, you're going to get a different recipe. How much lemon juice? How much simple syrup? Do you use a sugar cube? Do you use champagne? Do you use soda water? What about, is it gin or cognac? How much? It just differs. I'm going to do one more traditional one. I'm going to use champagne. Here we have some Veuve Clicquot. What do we know about champagne and Veuve Clicquot? If it's champagne, it's from France. It's a French 75. So could you use a Prosecco or another sparkling wine? Yes, and you know what? It'd be a lot less money. Do you know how expensive this little half bottle is? Oh my goodness. Anyways, I wanted to make it with champagne to be authentic, but there you go. So what is a French 75? Where did it come from? Well, okay, we don't really know. We can say this. The name of the cocktail is dedicated to the famous light field weapon, 75 millimeter weapon that basically was, the hero of World War I. French, Americans liked it too. Rapid fire. And so what some famous author once said is both the drink and the gun will lay you out flat. So basically, it's a potent drink. Is it a girly drink? You know what? It's a potent drink. What am I going to say? Okay, so you can go back to the 1860s, and Charles Dickens talks about coming to Boston and making a similar drink. Okay, basically gin in a champagne cup. And what's a champagne cup but champagne and citrus and sugar? And so, boom, you got basically a French 75. It just wasn't called that. And what we know about a lot of cocktails is that who gets the credit for it is the person who names it. So I think we'll go with Harry from Harry's New York Bar in Paris, who seems to get the credit for giving it that name. Was it exactly this drink? Well, I don't know. Did they use cognac? I don't know. Darn it, down in New Orleans, at Arnaud's New Orleans French 75 bar. Oh, there it is. They use cognac as opposed to gin. Why? You don't really think of France when you think of gin, do you? But when you think of cognac, yeah, very French. So, you know what? Take your pick. I'm going to do the traditional recipe, and I've made the proportions of lemon juice and simple sugar and gin and champagne the way I like to drink it. If you find it too tart, if you find it too sweet, you want to try it with cognac, by all means. You know what? This is your life. Live it drinking the cocktails you like. But I can tell you that there are as many recipes for this out there as there are, people who can say, bonsoir. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make it. And the other thing, there's the other big thing. What kind of glass do you serve it in? It started with a coupe. Back in the, World War I, they were drinking it out of a coupe. Then they went to a Collins glass, which is like a little bit bigger highball glass, because it's very similar to a Tom Collins. And if you took out the champagne and you added soda water, you kind of have a Tom Collins going there. And it makes it ice cold. We went to a champagne flute in the 80s to celebrate the champagne. I like that. It's probably not, the drink is probably not best, served and, whatever in the champagne flute, but you know what? I like it. So I'm going to actually use a fake champagne flute. This is a Grey Goose glass that we used to drink a concoction that they gave us for a party that had some sparkling wine in it, but it also had vodka. Ooh, people got knocked off their booties at that party because, it's going down so easy. So I took one of their glasses. They said I could. So I'm going to use this baby and we'll see how it goes. So how are we going to do this? Okay, I'm going to go in a shaker. Don't put the champagne in the shaker, fans. You might have a problem if you start shaking up bubbly. We're going to top it with champagne at the end. Whatever room is left, that's what's going in. So people say put 2 ounces, put 3 ounces, put 4 ounces, put 5 ounces. You know what? We're going to put as much champagne in there as there's room. And then, you know, you won't be around to see me falling on my booty. So 2 ounces of gin. My gin has been in the freezer. Again, this is a really good drink, best served ice cold as you can get it. So I'm going to do 2 ounces there. Woohoo! Wow. It's cocktail hour, fans. Okay. Secondly, I've already squeezed my lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. I'm doing a whole 1 ounce. You might want to cut back on it. You know, start with 3/4 of an ounce. And if you take a sip and you're like, well, I'd like that tartar, you can always pour more in and stir. But if you get it tartar than you like it, you know, the drink's kind of ruined, right? And I'm doing a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Now you can put regular sugar in there or any kind of sugar you want and just shake it until it dissolves. This way I'm sure it's dissolved. Sometimes you used to see it where they'd put a little sugar cube in the bottom and you'd watch it kind of fizz up. You can do that, but I'm going to tell you that unless you get a special kind of sugar cube, and I can't think of what it's called, but it dissolves, you're not going to get that sweetness with the drink until it dissolves. And you know, who drinks that slow, really? Okay, so we've got the ingredients to shake, right? Move the glass so I don't knock it over. And here we go. Shake it really good because, again, these babies just make it so cold, and it's really good that way. I'm not so good with this Boston shaker, but I really do like it, even though I can't often get the cover up. So I'll be really careful on how we strain this because I don't have a very big mouth glass. I have a big mouth, but the mouth of the glass is kind of small. So I'm going to be careful pouring it in. This is one of those you might want to double strain. What does that mean, Jude? Or at least double strain the lemon. Double strain is just to get a little teeny strainer. Because the lemon, you know, it has pulp in it. I mean, I strained the lemon when I put it in the little glass. But, you know, that's all about looks. Okay, so now, here we go. Now, I don't know how many ounces that's going to be. I'm going to guess that's about 3 to 3.5 ounces left for that. But you know what? I'm not so good with my liquids. And as I told you, not so good with my math. Here we go, opening up the Veuve Clicquot. Woohoo! Party I love. Time for some champagne. And again, I got the 1/2 bottle because you know what? A whole bottle is like $70. And you know, who drinks a whole bottle of champagne? I'm going to leave it there. I might give it a little bit after it goes down. And here's the kicker. I've been practicing with garnish, but I'm not so good. But this is supposed to have a long lemon peel that you then twirl around your finger quite a bit. It should be narrow. It's already not narrow because, you know, it's just something I'm not good at. Sort of like painting, and I'm not patient. I don't like to let the first coat dry. I just want to get it done. So I'm painting the second coat. Sort of like driving, you know, get out of my way, you slow person. And that's to the people crossing in front of me on their feet. No, I'm just kidding. So it's a really, I'm not good at it, but I'd like to be, because you know what? Does a garnish make the drink? Well, I'm not going to say it makes the drink, but it's pretty, isn't it? And when you get a really special looking drink, don't you feel kind of good about it? Okay, so this is too wide, so I'm just going to cut it down, which you can do. You know, I've seen people say do that, so doesn't mean that you have to be perfect in your first attempt at this. And if it's too wide, then you just cut it, and you know, cut it on your tablecloth like I'm doing, and then cut into the tablecloth because you don't have anything to cut it on, and you know, ruin your stuff, all just because, you know, it's a cool show. Now, it still should be thinner, to be honest with you. When I'm wrapping it around very clean hands and my finger to try to curl it up a little bit. And then you should just kind of see it's probably a little too big for that glass and it's not going to look as dainty as you'd like. But there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, who do we dedicate this to? I'm going to dedicate it to a few people. My friend Emmanuelle, she's from France. My friend Julian, who lives in England, and he and I both pretend we can speak French by just going bonjour and sortie. And to the French people and their weapon that helped them in World War I, and to Harry from Harry's Bar that gave it the name the French 75, and to people everywhere who enjoy a really fine cocktail. Salute, let's see. Oh man, that is an outstanding drink, folks. If you use Prosecco instead of champagne, and even if you use champagne, it should be a dry one, okay? Don't get a demi-sec, which basically means, you know, partially dry, but it basically means sweet. Get something that is dry, because that's going to work best in this, and use a London dry gin. You want it dry. Try it with cognac, it's outstanding. But this, oh man. You want to just sit here and watch me drink it and then like pass out? Okay, no. Well, look, that was that. And I did promise to make you cosmopolitan. So I'll pretend I'm one of those Sex and the City girls next week. You know, that'd be easy, right? Because I look just like, oh, none of them. All right. So thanks for joining me again on another episode of Boozin with Jude. Enjoy your French 75. You know what? It's a great drink to make for people when you finally can have them over in the summer, sitting out on the patio. You know, you can make it very elegant, and you can do a better job than I do. Make it thinner, and you'll have a great time. And you'll only have to serve them one. Just saying. So have a good night, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye, everybody.